This edition of Last Lap is sponsored by Miller Oils, advanced lubricants, oils and fuel additives. Welcome along to Silverstone for the third event of the season. If you've not joined us for MG Trophy action before, let's explain. There are three classes. The cost-effective 160s, where the overall championship leader, Matt Turnbull, competes. Then there's the 170 class, which is currently the best subscribed. Finally, the fastest class of all, the 190s. We're down in the paddock chatting to some of the characters before they go racing is our very own Fern Webster.
Ollie, you're back this season with a new car. How are you finding it?
Yeah, a lot better. Yeah, it's a vast improvement on the last one and slowly making our way up the grid again. So yeah, making good progress this season.
Because you've had a really good result at Brands Hatch. You actually came 5th.
Yeah, that was a good result. Unfortunately, there was a little incident, but yeah, it was good to finish that race, get some good points on the board, setting us up well for the rest of the season.
What do you think of Silverstone? Is it a track you enjoy?
Yeah, I love this place. It's been coming here since I was a very, very young kid, so being able to race around here is like a dream come true, really. I think it's the 4th year I've raced here now, so I do love coming back here.
Julia, you're actually sharing the car this weekend with Dan. You've been out of qualifying, we're ahead of race 1 now. You've had a really good result with a mid-pack, but you've actually been out of the car for 2 years.
That's right, yes. So I raced in the trophy for quite a long time when Peter Waters was the coordinator. It's his last year this year, trying to get as many cars on the grid as possible, so I got bullied into coming back, and here I am. So a little bit scary, but only the one race to do, so that'll be okay.
So you did 3 laps in qualifying to get yourself mid-pack ahead of race 1?
Absolutely. I had to go first, so cold tyres and lots of people around. Dan is quicker, to be fair, but he went second, and that's where we are on the grid today.
So Rob, we're here at Silverstone. This is your first ever time out on track, first time racing actually, and you're on the Grand Prix track at Silverstone. Is that a bit daunting?
Yeah, it is a little. Obviously, it's just a matter of getting used to things, learning the track a bit. But yeah, there's some fast drivers out there that have lapped me, so yeah, it's taking a bit of getting used to, but as a whole I'm quite confident now in the race that I shall hold it on the track and maybe improve a bit.
Have you been doing a lot of preparation for this event?
Not really. I've had a good team of people around me that have prepped the car and helped me out with preparation, so I've kind of left it to them really.
Have you done much testing? I
tested yesterday, which was the first time I'd been in the car and out on a track, so yeah. That's all my testing.
Danny, special guest here this weekend, all the way from South Africa. How are you finding it?
It's unbelievable. It's a privilege to race here. I got an opportunity of a lifetime to be able to race here. It's been absolutely fantastic.
And how have you been getting on?
Well, yesterday it went better. On testing we did a different track, a slight little chicane. This morning in qualifying was the first time on a different track, and yeah, I battled P6, unfortunately, yeah.
So how did you manage to get the time off in South Africa to get over here?
Well, we do exchange driving. So Paul Luthi, he's racing an SA in my team, and in England I race for him.
Richard, your 2017 season has been a little bit fraught with difficulty, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've had quite a few challenges. This is now, I think, the 3rd round and the 3rd car. The car we had before we tested just before the start of the season and unfortunately rolled that. So we built a new one for the 1st round. That made it through the 1st round and the last round. And then it got written off at Brands.
Does it differ every time you have a new car?
No, it doesn't actually. The first car I had, when I moved on to the 2nd car, I thought it would be massively different. It took me a fair bit of time to get my confidence. This one, we came here yesterday to test, and within 2 laps I was already on the pace.
A massive field, 42 cars. Pete McWhirter and the team have done a superb job this weekend to get a great grid together. The Class B pole, Paul Luty from Andy Mollison. Class C, Matthew Turnbull, championship leader from Andy Spencer. But outright, Jason Burgess from Graham Ross. Ross in the white car with the blue trim. The black and red of Jason Burgess. Remember, pole position here is the outside line at Silverstone. James Cole is there. He's 18th on the grid, chasing the blue machine of Adam Jackson, but all 42 cars are off the grid. Now, watch them go through Copse Corner, and let's see whether anybody is tempted to run wide, or indeed if anybody is forced to run wide. That is a very good orderly start. Jason Burgess losing ground though. Ross Macker is through. Burgess wasn't particularly quick off the line, and he's down in 4th place at the moment. Burgess 4th. Very quick start indeed by Graham Ross, who it is that leads. Colin Robertson is up into 3rd place. Ross Macker is 2nd. Paul Luty, the leader of the 170s. The 170s with the yellow sun strips. Orange sunstrip for the faster 190s. The white cost-effective 160 class have the white sunstrip, so we'll try to keep you abreast of what's going on in all 3 classes. But what a start by Graham Ross, who runs wide into Stowe. Colin Robertson now taking 2nd place away from Ross Macker, who qualified in 5th place. Here's the view from James Cole. Simon Byrne up the inside line there, going into Stowe and trying to make a position up there on Adam Jackson. So those two, their battle continues. The race leaders, though, coming through the club complex and onto the International Grand Prix straight for the first time. William Payne in car number 7 there, but we ride on board with James Cole. Simon Byrne immediately ahead. This is the run down into the right-hander farm. Race leader though, goodness me, Graham Ross is away and down the road. Ross Macker 2nd. Thought that 2nd place was going to go to Colin Robertson, but Colin clearly having a little bit of a, not a struggle at the moment. Now, someone who's a lot further back than we'd expect, the black and red car there of Jason Burgess, who finds himself behind the top 3 of the 170 cars. Paul Luty is out front in that class at the moment. And here's Jason Burgess about to try and pass Jack Roberts. Roberts running in 3rd place in class, but 2nd in the class standings. Tom Butler is 3rd in the class standings, and we'll try and again update you on everything that's going on. So Burgess, he's regrouping now. Clearly something happened on the first lap. He lost a couple of positions going up into Beckett's for the first time, but he's clawing his way back. Superb outside line. A great shot from the man who won the last race that we saw for this championship, and was 4th in race 1 at Brands Hatch, won the 2nd race. He was 6th at Donington Park before that, 4th in race 1 of the season, and has another pole position here this weekend. Took fastest lap in that final race at Brands Hatch as well, you may well remember. So 55 Tom Butler chasing another of the guest drivers, Andy Mollison. What a superb field, absolutely brilliant field put together this weekend. Here's the view from Paul Luty, and the weather has been superb thus far too. Blue skies, a little bit of cloud, keeping things slightly cooler from time to time. There are the 3 170 cars going through shot, and then we've got the 2 guest drivers, 4th and 5th in class at the moment. On board with Danny van Nijkerk, who is 4th, 5th place Andy Mollison. Andy's raced all sorts of things, but my best memories of Andy in the BRSCC Fiesta Championships. He's a very quick front-wheel drive pilot, and looking at the outside line of the man who has won races, race-winning pedigree, Danny van Nijkerk, back in South Africa, 2nd generation racer. So good to have these boys on board. It'll be good to see Andy Mollison come in and join this championship full time. Here's the view from Danny Mollison down the inside line, coming into the club complex. Is Danny going to be able to repay the compliment in the Dreadnought garage car? Yes, he does. Red back superbly well. Tom Butler is in behind as well. Tom Butler 3rd in the 170 class standings. Now, the leader in the 190 class championship-wise is Doug Cole, the blue car you can see here, and Jason Burgess trying to go past him. Burgess has got the speed. Remember, he set pole position time, and he's going to go through. In behind them, it's Robin Walker. Then the battle for the 170s with Paul Luty coming under a little bit of pressure now from Andrew Rogerson. Rogerson in yellow and black. They're both in yellow and black, slightly different versions though. And then Jack Roberts, 2nd in the 170 standings. He's 3rd in the class, but it is very, very close, as you can see. Paul Luthi in 69 looking to bag a third class win of the year. He's had 2 wins so far, 2 second places. Now you'd think that would be enough for the overall championship lead, but that of course takes Matt Turnbull out of the equation. Great race going on here between Robin Walker and Doug Cole. Cole obviously was passed by Jason Burgess, but these two, Burgess is up the road. Here he is now, Burgess in black and red. And then Doug Cole having a super battle with Robin Walker, who went on the inside line, got better momentum coming out of the corner, but Doug Cole capitalises on a little bit more momentum going down. Problems for Simon Byrne, who is off the track. That looks terminal for Simon Byrne, which is a major pity. Now is that going to... Let's hope there's no fluid or anything like that on the track which could upset the apple cart. Paul Luthi with a slightly bigger lead now in the 69 car. As I say, he's the class championship leader, but a few points down on Matt Turnbull at the moment, the 64 car, when we see him, who is thus far unbeaten in the 160 class. But look how close these boys are in the 160s. 170s. We're back to the 190s though. And Jason Burgess continues his charge, manages to pass Gary Wetton, the 22 car, the man who was second in race 1 at Brands Hatch, non-finished in race 2. So Wetton passed by Burgess. Burgess will be looking to try and secure the fastest lap to add to the pole position. The 21 car there is David Heisman coming under pressure. David, one of the front runners in Class C, and that's John Booth looking round his outside line. So Heisman and Booth side by side. Heisman third in the standings behind Matt Turnbull and Andy Spencer, and they're still side by side. So terrific racing going on with the 160s, and the 160 class is completely within the reach of anybody watching this programme.
Oh, look at this, yeah,
Welcome back to the Miller's Oils MG Trophy Championship racing from the Grand Prix circuit here at Silverstone, and we're looking at a man making a superb charge back through the field. This is the pole position man, Jason Burgess, third pole of the year. What a move there on the inside line to pass Ross Macker. Ross, who was up in second position early on. And Jason Burgess has got the fastest lap of the race as well, 2 minutes 27.061, averaging a shade under 90 miles an hour. That'll give you an idea of the speed. But look now, Ross Macker is closing back in. Macker closing in. Gary Wetton not that far behind as well. So Jason Burgess, incidentally taking that move, got him up into third place. So Burgess on the podium. Remember, on the first lap, he was in the mix with the leading 170 class drivers, but he's overcame those. But he hasn't overcome Ross Macker completely yet. They're side by side coming down into Brooklands. Burgess is wide. This is going to be interesting to see how much respect and room they give each other. Well, I was getting anticipation really over nothing, because they gave each other plenty of room. That was terrific, clean, fair racing between the pair, and a lot of other drivers would have bumped and bashed each other off, but we don't have that here in the MG Trophy. This racing resumes. So Burgess still there, up ahead of Ross Macker. A spin for one of the leaders in the 160 class. That's David Heisman, who is third in the championship for the 160s. Had a very consistent season so far. 3 fourth places and a 5th. And brewing up there is Alistair Rushforth. Good to see him back, but not good to see him out of the race. That's very, very hard lines indeed. Now, somebody that is putting a lot of unwelcome fluid on the circuit. One of the guest drivers, Jake Fraser-Burns. Basically, if you see a car beginning with a 1, it's a guest driver. Jake Fraser-Burns becomes another retiree in this race, joining Alistair Rushforth. Robert Griffiths off as well. This is the battle for the 170 class. Paul Luthi still there at the moment from Andrew Rogerson, Jack Rogers, Andy Mollison. Then Ollie Hood, the ex-Metro racer, is in 5th place. And Ollie Hood's had a very good run indeed. And I'm wondering if there is fluid down, because as you can see, so confirmation, the limited adhesion flag is out. This though, first and second in the 160 class, sandwiched by James Blake. So James Blake in the green car, Andy Spencer in blue leads the 160 class, and he's looking here for his first class win of the season. Matt Turnbull, the black car, is the driver who leads another spin, and this time it's another of the big guns, the 92 of Graham Ross, who spins it around. Remember, Ross was second at Donington Park. We were on board very briefly with Colin Robertson, who will go through and take the lead. They're closing up on Tim Martin, you just saw going through shot. Wow, what a race this has turned out to be. Ross Macker now down behind Gary Wetton, so it's Colin Robertson, the race leader now outright from Graham Ross, Jason Burgess, Gary Wetton, Ross Macker. Across the start-finish line go the 170 class runners headed by Paul Luty, but Andrew Rogerson looking determined, goes to the outside line. Andy Mollison exploring in blue as well. Ollie Hood, Danny van Nijkerk goes very wide indeed, another of our guest racers, the South African, running with Paul Luty's team, so obviously a very well prepared car for Danny, but runs a little bit wide there. The top five on the 170s still, this could go any way for the top fives, particularly with fluid down, but Luty seems to be extending the gap just a little bit at the moment from Andrew Rogerson. Jack Roberts still in third, then Andy Mollison coming under pressure from Oliver Hood. A spin there for Patrick Booth. One retirement so far for Patrick Booth this year, but Colin Robertson in yellow out front. Graham Ross, who was the leader and got caught out, but has recovered superbly for second position at the moment. Let's have a look at the lap times. Ross's best lap of 2 minutes 27. Colin Robertson's a 2 minutes 28.5. Both of them incidentally back on lap 2, so having the pace in the early stage of the race. It's a long lap, 3.6 miles here, the Silverstone historic GP, and they of course used the start-finish line of the old Grand Prix circuit, although and the pit lane and everything from there, whilst they do of course use and race along the current Grand Prix home straight, actually based on the national circuit here. Alistair Rushforth's car parked up, yellow flags waved, oil flag. They probably don't need to know about the oil flag now because they're on to the last lap, just 3.6 miles to go. I suspect here that the championship leader, Matthew Turnbull, is a little bit frustrated, not directly with James Blake, because James is entitled to have his race for sure. But of course what it's doing, it's stopping him having a little nibble away at Andy Spencer, who's out front. He manages to clear the Class B car, or the 170 class car, and now he's got a clear view on the penultimate lap of the class leader, and sadly our guest driver Danny van Nijkerk is off the circuit and the car grinds to a halt. Let's hope that he will be back for race 2. Across the line we go, so 31, Jack Roberts in third place in class, Andy Mollison is fourth. Keep your eyes open for the red of Ollie Hood, so that effectively leaves those drivers all there. Adam Jackson is next in blue, so Adam Jackson seems to have put some ground between himself and James Cole, who we saw racing him in the early stages of this one. Cole a little bit further back. Now Mollison running well here, piling the pressure on Jack Roberts. But as I say, let's hope this does tempt Mollison to come back and have another play, because he's adapted very, very quickly as we go on board. As we look at the 21 car of David Heatsman, who we saw having that spin being passed by Colin Robertson. Robertson clears him very well indeed, but on to the last lap, and this is the battle for the 160 class. As I said, this is within the reach, 160s are within the reach of anybody really watching this programme, and a superb way to come in to the championship. Superb as well for James Blake, who keeps getting up amongst the mix. He wants to make places, that's how he's learning his racing. So Blake goes back ahead of the championship leader Matthew Turnbull, and all this is giving a bit of breathing space here for Andy Spencer, who continues to lead the class. Third place in Class C at the moment is Paul Croker. But meanwhile the checkered flag is out, and the race win outright goes to Colin Robertson from Graham Ross second. Jason Burgess, fine drive, fine recovery from him. He's given us some great entertainment. He takes third place. This is the battle for Class C once again. Matt Turnbull has cleared James Blake, and this gives him a clear run at Andy Spencer in blue. They go across one start-finish line, but effectively they've got half a lap to go, because this is the international pit straight. James Blake trying to get back in the mix as well. Of course, if Blake gets ahead of Turnbull, that could be curtains for Turnbull's race, or in terms of a race win at least. But what about the 170s? Paul Luthi has pretty much led from start to finish. Andy Mollison has fastest lap in that class, but it's going to be Paul Luthi that is going to take the win from Andrew Rogerson in second place. We're on board with Paul now, has a quick look across, and he'll know this is going to be a third win of the year through Woodcote, and sees the checkered flag. Paul Luthi takes the win in class from Andrew Robertson and Jack Roberts. Then it was Ollie Hood ahead of Andy Mollison. Mollison getting fastest lap, but we've still got the 160 class to be settled, and a great move down the inside line by Matt Turnbull. The championship leader goes inside Andy Spencer. And coming up as well now is James Blake, who wants to try and get between the two cars as well. But you can see Andy Spencer wants to fight back. Spencer looks to the outside line, but it is Matt Turnbull, the outright championship leader. He's been unbeaten so far this year, but he's had the battle taken to him this weekend. This is the run down into Brooklands. The left-hander awaits them. Matt Turnbull knows that. He's got the entry covered, and he will lead here from Spencer. Spencer's going to be maybe looking for a mistake or a gap on the inside line. Keeping it tight though is the championship leader, and Matt Turnbull from here should be okay towards the checkered flag. Let's see, it is Turnbull that's going to take another class win. He's got the fastest lap in class as well. There's the checker. Matt Turnbull wins again. Andy Spencer second in the 160s. They were followed by James Blake, and a terrific race with him all through the afternoon. But Colin Robertson, the overall winner. Robertson from Ross and Burgess, Gary Wetton, then Ross Macker, Robin Walker in 6th, Paul Luthi winning the 170s from Andrew Rogerson, then Jack Roberts, Oliver Hood in 10th place and taking 4th position in 170 from Andy Mollison and Adam Jackson. Richard Marsh next from James Cole. Oliver Coles was next from Will Payne, then Ryan Firth, Johnny Piccioni, Adrian Ray, Mike Harris wrapping up the top 20. Then it was Andy Firth from Patrick Booth, Paul Savage, Julia Penfold, then Matthew Turnbull takes the class win again. Andy Spencer next from James Blake. Paul Croker third in the 160s. Joe Cruttenden next ahead of Tony Jones. Then it was John Booth, Tyler Ballard in 32nd. David Heisman recovers for 8th in class. Tim Martin completing the finishers. And Fern is down in Parc Fermé with the winners.
Congratulations, Colin, a fantastic win.
Yeah, it was very fortunate. I mean, Graham was absolutely walking away with that, and unfortunate for him on the oil at the corner. I managed to get past him there. He had one heck of a lead. My car lost a bit of power at the beginning, for I don't know why, and then it picked back up again, but by that time Graham had gone. But yeah, it was going well, the car, but God, it was hot out there. Yeah.
Paul, congratulations, a great win.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was. I never like being at the front. I mean, everybody talks about it's great winning, but I don't like being at the front because the whole time you just wanted the race to finish. And I had those guys up behind me, and yeah, I was looking in that mirror more than I think I was looking out the front.
Winner of our Class C, Matthew. Well done, Matthew.
Thank you. It was a tough race that. Andy was leading for most of the race. Last 2 laps caught him. A couple of 170s in a way, so caught him. Really good race with Andy. Bit of rubbing, but rubbing's racing at the end of the day, so it was really good. Loved it. Great race.
Callum, Miller Oil's title sponsor of the MG Trophy event here. Great to see you at this event. And MG Live, what a fantastic event and venue.
Oh, it's been absolutely brilliant. I mean, we've been blessed with the weather as well. But no, the feedback we're getting and seeing all these enthusiasts here so passionate about MG, the cars and the products and the whole show, it's really good to see and really exciting to be involved with as well. Such a good event.
Now, Miller Oil's a well-established name. It's been there historically for many years. When was it established? And just tell us a little bit about the product range.
It was established in 1887, and then they changed the name in 1889. But so we've actually been celebrating our anniversary this year for 130 years. But one thing we've always done is we've always maintained our quality of products. So John Watson Miller once said, when he changed the name initially, he was like, my quality of oils will always be adhered to. And you actually see that on our sort of branding as well. Because we were a British company, we like our heritage, and we'd say we're built on history and we're perfected through time as well.
Is it motorsport based? Is it road based? Is it a bit of both?
It's a bit of both what we're showcasing at this event today. So we're actually showcasing our motorsport products as well as our classic range. The motorsport range itself was relaunched and we've rebranded a lot of the products and reformulated the products and brought it out early this year. The classic range itself, we've gone back to the old classic tins because by popular demand, because everyone seems to appreciate the good old classic tin, and that was relaunched last summer itself. And then we've also got our sort of car treatment, so we've got the VSP, which is the lead replacement, and then we've got our passenger car treatments on show as well, which can save people a lot of money.
Ollie, we caught up with you a little bit earlier in the season. How's it going so far?
It's going a lot better than when we last spoke. Basically, we had a bit of an ABS issue when we first started. We've taken that off now. We're running a brake bias system, and this is the first race that we did yesterday, and it was absolutely spot on. So I managed to finish fourth after a very poor start, which was due to a clutch lever issue. We've still got that same issue for today, so we're going to hope for a better start, but we're not expecting anything too good. And then we'll try and work up the pack and try and finish in the top 5.
Ryan, great to see you back on the grid. We had a little bit of a disaster at Brands Hatch there, but rebuild and the car looks gleaming as ever.
Yeah, just want to thank my dad for getting me back out, and thank my mum for putting up with us both on the late nights. But we're really glad we're back out again. Car's looking good. So.
Team driver with Julia, who we caught up with yesterday. So, what brings you onto the grid?
Well, I've been involved with the MG Trophy for the best part of 15 years running cars. I used to work for MG Sport and Racing when we supported the championship then. When the company unfortunately went bust, I was employed by CMC Motorsport, and as the years have gone on, it's become my company. I've been preparing race cars all the time, mainly ZRs. Peakman Waters, it's his 10th year as coordinator for the trophy, and a couple of the drivers wanted a big grid for the trophy, so I suggested to Julia we should get involved. We've got a car sitting around doing nothing. It'd be nice to do one race each, just go out and have a bit of fun.
It's good to see Dan and indeed Julia in the previous race out on circuit. A mega entry, fantastic. If you see a bigger car entry this year, I'd be massively surprised. Certainly this competitive anyway. So, pole position for race 2. Graham Ross, but Will Payne, the defending champion. Nasty moment. They've all managed to go past him, and that was a very nasty experience for him, stuck on the line. Jason Burgess is away, but very slowly again, and everybody going past left and right. Burgess, is that a recurrence of what happened in race 1? We don't know. Paul Luthi, though, is being challenged for the lead in the 170s, and coming through into the lead, Andrew Rogerson. Rogerson leads there. He's the first of the yellow sun strips. Luthi second. Jack Roberts is there in third place. Well, as I say, we've got 3 races for the price of 1. And I stand by that comment. If you see, as Jason Burgess pulls up on the inside line at Copse Corner, if you see a field which is more competitive with more racers in it than we've got here, then I would be very, very surprised indeed. Down to Stowe Corner for the first time. Look how many cars we've got. Absolutely massive entry, and one of the most competitive, exciting championships that you'll witness in Europe. Here is Paul Luthi putting the pressure on. Being pushed away is Will Payne. Will moved up from the C-Class. Jack Roberts being challenged for third place by Danny Van Nijkerk. And Danny on the outside line. Roberts goes through. That's the exit of club onto the International GP start-finish straight. And he's got third place. Paul Luthi second in class at the moment. Andrew Rogerson out front. Danny Van Nijkerk up ahead of Richard Marsh. Then it's James Cole in the green 88, and Tom Butler looking up the inside line of Ollie Hood, one of the men we spoke to before the start of the race. Ollie is past Tom Butler, who had a DNF in the first race, so Tom hoping to bag some decent points in this one. There are drop scores in the championship, but obviously you don't want too many of those, particularly at a relatively early stage of the season. This is only the third event of the year, total of 6 events over the course of the season, so halfway point of the year. Back on board with the South African, who on his first visit to Silverstone acquitting himself superbly well. This is the run out of Luffield and then around Woodcote onto the main straight, but it's still out front. Graham Ross. Here come the 170s, still headed by the number 13 car of Andrew Rogerson. James Cole with Richard Marsh. Tom Butler is still in behind as well. Is the onboard from James Cole. So coming up towards Maggot's corner, and there's a kink to the inside where James Cole could possibly go. Not quite close enough to do it. Normally this corner, if you're on the short circuit, would continue big time round to the right around Beckett's, but Beckett's here is more of a wiggle before they get onto the hanger straight. Look at Paul Luthi though, he is all over the place. This is what Luthi wanted, wasn't he? He didn't want to be winning, he wanted to be challenging for the lead, and he's doing that now. Luthi goes through, back into the lead, great move on Andrew Rogerson, but Jack Roberts is moving offline as well. Roberts looking for a wide line in, maybe Rogerson tight going down into Stowe corner. Luthi the meat in the sandwich is momentarily down into third place. Can he hold on to that? They come out of Stowe and head down into Vale. Luthi's got the inside line and consolidates second. You can see the pit run in there for the Grand Prix pits, but Luthi still second position at the moment, still side by side with Jack Roberts. Superb racing, absolutely brilliant stuff. There is James Cole, up ahead still of Tom Butler. Danny van Nijkerk still trying to fend off Richard Marsh, and Richard running well. They come down into Abbey, the right-hander. Farm is the left-hander, and then they'll make their way back towards the national circuit. You can see Paul Luthi just trying to pop his nose up the inside line. He's got to be mindful of what's going on behind. And as I said, bearing in mind the words that Paul Luthi said to Fern after race number 1, is exactly what he likes. He doesn't like being out front. He likes having a chase and having a race of it. Colin Robertson looks to be losing ground here. Robertson passed there by Ross Macker, so Ross through on the inside line, up into third. The blue car ahead of this pair is Doug Cole, who is in second. We've still got Graham Ross out front. So Ross in the 92. Effectively lost that race. I was just hesitating there because it does look like Colin Robertson may be losing a bit of ground, and Gary Wetton now closing down on him. Towards us come Alistair Rushforth, Tony Jones, Tyler Ballard is there as well. Spinner going into Brooklands, and Tony Jones has a little moment as well. Tyler Ballard will go past Tony Jones. Up towards us comes John Booth ahead of Paul Savage. John Booth, the car's just gone out of shot, running 4th in the standings for the 160 class, behind Matt Turnbull, Andy Spencer and Dave Heasman. I think that was Joe Cruttenden who was parked up, but that's going to require some attention. So the 50 car of John Booth starting to put pressure. Again, you can see here, we saw in race number 1 the race leaders for the 160 class getting stuck into some of the 170 class runners, and exactly the same thing's happening here. This is the battle for the lead though, and it's Andy Spencer out front again. Lost out in the last stages of race number 1 to Matthew Turnbull. Here's Paul Luthi going for the lead again. There are lead battles going on aplenty. Luthi back into the race lead. Andrew Rogerson will fight back on that inside line. Here's the view again from the 69 machine, and there is Rogerson back squeezing through on the inside line, back into the 170 class lead. Wonderful racing. Same too for the 160s, and Matt Turnbull looks up the inside line, doesn't quite have the momentum there. Now was that Tom Butler parked up? Double retirement possibly for Tom Butler. Just saw a flash there of a car parked up on the exit of the club chicane. We'll wait, try and get confirmation for you. There's our shot. It is indeed a double retirement for Tom Butler. That's a major shame. Tom, a very well respected and quick racer, remember, was 3rd in the championship back in 2013. Here is Paul Luthi still giving chase. Now all of these guys, this is the lead group for the 170s. Absolutely incredible. So it is still Rogerson out front, but a wide line here from Jack Roberts. Luthi gives him room. Remember, we saw that these guys running side by side. We saw the 190 class cars running side by side and giving each other room. The 170s do it as well. Luthi down to third now, so Paul's got to try and get back in the mix here in the 69 car. Has he done it? Looks across. We're having a look as well. He's taking a wide run as they come down into Copse Corner. He has got back into second, so Luthi in second place. Adam Jackson is running in fourth at the moment. The blue car, Luthi, now having dealt with the third place issue, now goes back into the lead, but Rogerson flies himself back round the outside. Superb stuff from the 170s. It's Rogerson back in front. Can he hold it? Join us after the break to see. Welcome back to Silverstone, a frenetic 170 class race going on. And this is the view from Ollie Hood. He's got really a box seat for the race leaders at the moment, but he'll want to be in amongst it. Here we come then. Andrew Rogerson is the class leader at the moment. Paul Luthi is second and runs a little bit wide here, looking to try and explore the outside line, maybe gain more momentum. Back in third still is Jack Roberts. Here is Ollie Hood. I think currently back in fifth or sixth place. Ollie Hood is sixth position at the moment. He's in the red car. Barry caught up with him just before the race. Look at Paul Luthi though, a little bit of drifting on there. He is fighting the car, chasing as hard as he can. Adam Jackson is in fourth place at the minute. Fifth is Danny van Nijkerk, Paul Luthi's guest driver. Luthi goes over, does some racing in South Africa, as you heard in part number one. And Jackson goes over the curb there. Let's see what Danny can do. He's going to maybe have a look at the inside run. Tell you what, Rogerson starting to build a little bit of a lead, and it's a quintet all dicing over second place with Paul Luthi at the head. It's more than a quintet, because up the inside line now drives Ollie Hood. Ollie goes past the South African driver, and looking to come through as well is Andy Mollison in 177. Mollison trying to come through. Remember, Andy got fastest lap in the 170s in race number one. The two guest drivers side by side. Mollison in blue is going to have the line down into Brooklands. Now safety car coming out, so problems on track. Safety car scramble is going to give everybody a little bit of a breather. It's going to close absolutely everything up. It's a long lap to have a safety car, 3.6 miles. So these guys really are going to get a little bit of a breather. Graham Ross still the leader from Doug Cole. You can see the safety car has caught those up. Doug Cole in blue, Ross Macker in white. Then it is Gary Wetton, Robin Walker in 77, and that's the reason it is for the car of Tom Butler, the one that we saw. We must have just caught Tom after he broke down, and it is a prone place because it's on the outside of the exit of the club complex. Tom Butler's car dealt with, safety car in. We are racing again. The Miller's Oils MG Trophy underway once again. This is round 6 of the 2017 Championship. Graham Ross, the race leader. We pick up on Andrew Rogerson, Paul Luthi there. Good start, Andy Mollison chasing Danny van Nijkerk. Then it's the green 88 of James Cole. Good start by the three leaders in the 170 class, and Paul Luthi straight back on the case of Andrew Rogerson in the 13. Rogerson looking for his first win of the season, the second place, his best result of the year in race number one. Luthi all over the back of him. Jack Roberts is there as well. Then it's Adam Jackson in blue. Here is the view looking back again from Paul Luthi. This is the hangar straight. They can see Robin Walker ahead. Walker in 5th place. Here is Paul Luthi. This is almost a replay of what we saw earlier on. Rogerson on the inside line, Luthi in the middle, and around the outside again goes Jack Roberts. Can he hang on to it? Luthi still in 2nd place. Rogerson holds on to the lead. Luti's on the outside line for this part. Through on the inside goes Jack Roberts into second, or does he? No, Luti knows he's got the line into the next corner. Consolidates second, but look who's coming up. Ollie Hood now challenging Adam Jackson for fourth position. So Hood really getting a wiggle on at the moment, trying to come down the international pits straight into Abbey, the right-hander, then now coming into Farm and running a little bit wide. Still Rogerson out front, Luti in second. Ollie Hood through on the inside. Ollie Hood goes up into fourth place. Down to fifth place goes Adam Jackson. Jackson will fight back. Danny van Nijkerk is next, then Andy Mollison. Exciting stuff that we are having here as Luti is back on the case for the lead again. So Luti side by side. This is the view down the Wellington straight. Ollie Hood wants to get a move on. Here we go down into Brooklands. Hard on the brakes we go. Who's going to emerge still in lead position? Still side by side they are, and Ollie Hood runs a little bit wide, gets it all back on, gets a little bit of smoke screen from the 31 car in front, and Paul Luti got squeezed wide there, so it's Rogerson now out front. Andrew Rogerson is in front. Luti down to third place, but he's clearing Ollie Hood once again. Hood looking up the inside line as they go through Copse Corner. So Rogerson still in front side by side for that third place. Andy Mollison back behind Danny van Nijkerk, who has the fastest lap of the race on that one. Van Nijkerk is fastest in class, a 2:33.595. Graham Ross has got the fastest lap so far in the 190s. Matthew Turnbull, championship leader, fastest on lap 2 in the 160s. And Turnbull still challenging for the class lead as we look at Paul Luti piling the pressure on. Paul Luti now, it's all about second place rather than the lead, side by side with Jack Roberts. He's got the inside line as they come down into Stowe, but he's got Ollie Hood in red on the inside line as well. Luti in yellow and black. The race leader in yellow and black as well is Andrew Rogerson, who's clear of those. Ollie Hood goes up into second. Hood through on the inside. Luti down to third again, but has got to try and work his way back through. Luti's on the curbs. Can he find the room to go back through and retake second position? Side by side, Mollison's come through. Andy Mollison, he was miles back a lap or so ago, but he's back with the pack. He's passed Adam Jackson. So Andy Mollison is now up into fifth position in class. Danny van Nijkerk seems to have lost out. Look at the body language there. Richard Marsh is up ahead of him. So Danny losing out, but he certainly knows he's been in a race. We go back with the 170s. It's still Rogerson there. Ollie Hood in second. Paul Luti coming under pressure from Andy Mollison now. Luti has found a little bit of a space there, and he's going to go through. It looks like Ollie Hood was going straight on there. Here's the onboard with Ollie Hood. Ran a little bit wide. Luti nabs second position. Meanwhile, the race leaders are into the last couple of bends. Graham Ross is out front. The blue car of Doug Cole is second under pressure from Ross Backer. Gary Wetton is in the mix as well. It's going to be a blanket finish for the three cars, second, third and fourth, but Graham Ross takes the win. Doug Cole is just second from Ross Backer and Gary Wetton. And here is the battle again in the 170s. It's going to go to Andrew Rogerson. Paul Luti next up, and then Andy Mollison up ahead of Oliver Hood. Adam Jackson is next, and Jack Roberts finds himself down in sixth, having been in a podium position for so long. Rogerson's first win of the year. Superb racing from not only the 190s but especially the 170s. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Well, I can tell you that Andy Spencer has come through to take his first win in the 160s as well. The outright win going to Graham Ross. There's the checkered flag. Spencer from Turnbull. There is Spencer in the blue 75, his first win. Matthew Turnbull retains the championship lead though, so it's Ross, Cole, Macca, Wetton, Robin Walker, Andrew Rogerson next, Paul Luti, Andy Mollison, Oliver Hood, Adam Jackson in 10th. 11th place goes to Jack Roberts from James Cole and Richard Marsh. Then Adrian Ray. Ollie Cole's next from Dan Surridge, Ryan Firth, Johnny Piccioni, Patrick Booth in 19th. Andy Firth was next, then Mike Harris and Paul Savage, the Class C 160 battle, as we said, going to Andy Spencer. Congrats on his first win. Matthew Turnbull next from James Blake. Paul Croker third in class from John Booth, Tyler Ballard. Danny Van Nijkerk back in 29th, then Joe Cruttenden, Tim Martin and Robert Griffiths in 32nd. Fastest laps, Ross, Van Nijkerk and Turnbull. And now here's Barry with the race winner, Graham Ross.
Graham, no strangers to the podium. That was a tough one though, wasn't it?
It was. The heat was unbelievable. And then, of course, with the safety car, it just added a bit of spice into the mixture. But if you could hear me inside the car talking to myself, you'd think I'd gone doolally. I just did what I had to do and got the win, and really chuffed. After yesterday, I was disappointed with what happened yesterday, and I just made amends for it today, so really chuffed.
So a great way to finish the weekend and worth of a trip down here.
Oh, definitely. I like Silverstone, great circuit, the social aspect and everything for MG Live. I really do love it. I wouldn't miss it. And I've kind of got tuned into the circuit at last, so yeah, really very happy.
Andrew, great win there. Good for points as well. Now, obviously, you've rebuilt the car, great team behind you. Just tell us what's been going on and who's been helping you.
Well, you got Ben Palmer, Alex Bristow, Charlie, Ben's girlfriend Lana. She was there on day one, scraping the car. Everyone's just really mucked in, got involved. Ben's dad's been involved. Yeah, everyone's sort of been involved. My old man, it's nice to see the team come together. We're not really a team. We're a group of lads that love racing, and we go racing with Leclerc, we win races. We go racing with the ZR, we win races. I don't know what it's like being a paying driver to have a team around you, but I couldn't think of it any other way.
Andy, Class C winner there. That was a great battle towards the end.
That was awful. The tension in that was just, Matt kept me honest all day. Yesterday as well, it was all over me. I thought I had it yesterday. He just got me in the last lap, but today, looking at the rearview mirror every single lap, when that safety car came out, I just thought that's going to kill some time. But towards the end, I had literally nothing left in the car. The tyres were finished, everything was absolutely gone. Went into Brooklands, turned the wheel in absolutely straight on. Just like I thought that was gone. So yeah, sorry to Matt, a little bit of contact, but there's literally nowhere I could have gone with that one. Just so happy I could hang on to it, first win of the year.
Matthew Turnbull still leads the championship and Class C. Class B leader Paul Lutie second from Jack Roberts and Andy Spencer. Andrew Rogerson next from Class A leader Doug Cole, then Ross Macker and Jason Burgess. Join us next time. We'll see you at Alton Park.